This is a video presentation on diversity in teen books by Kyle Paulson, David Bustamante, and Kimi Riklon. According to Mass Communication, living in a media world, the biggest publishing phenomena in recent years have been young adult novels set in supernatural or dystopian worlds, such as J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter books, the Twilight Vampire series, and the dystopian worlds of Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games and Veronica Roth's Divergent series. These books are bringing joy to millions of young adults, and the titles are all over the major best-selling books list. But what about diversity? Where's the African-American Harry Potter or the Mexican Katniss? That would change the game, says Matt De La Peña, a New York Times best-selling author. Matt says that finding himself on the page and the characters he could relate to made him who he is today, an author of young adult books. It is this relatability that calls for more diversity in young adult literature. Not only will different demographics be able to relate to what they are reading, but those who don't relate will learn about a variety of different ways of life. In a New York Times article, Walter Dean Myers expressed his displeasure of a lack of people of color in young adult books. He said, "As I discovered who I was, a black teenager in a white-dominated world, I saw these characters, these lives were not mine. I didn't want to become the black representative or some shining example of diversity. What I needed really, was to become an integral and valued part of the mosaic that I saw around me."
In 2014, writers Ellen O and Melinda Lo expressed their frustration with the lack of diversity on Twitter. This was in response to the all-white, all-male panel put together for children's authors during the BookCon of that year. The pair put together a 3-day conference with other authors, bloggers, and those in the book writing industry to make change for the lack of diversity. Aisha Saeed, a YA author who attended, started using the hashtag #WeNeedDiverseBooks that began trending on April 29th of that year. This all led to the creation of the nonprofit We Need Diverse Books, an organization dedicated to putting books that represent all people in the hands of children. Diversity in YA, a website, was founded in 2011 by authors Cindy Pond and Melinda Lo as a website and book tour. Their goal is to bring attention to books and authors that might fall outside the mainstream and to bring the margin to the center. In 2014, mainstream publishers published 47 LGBT YA books. This is a 59% increase from 2013, when only 29 LGBT YA books were published by mainstream publishers, according to Diversity in YA. The Rainbow Book List is created by the Rainbow Book List Committee of the Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Roundtable of the American Library Association. Originally a joint project between the Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Roundtable and the Social Responsibilities Roundtable, the Rainbow Book List presents an annual bibliography of quality books with significant and authentic GLBTQ content, which are recommended for people from birth through 18 years of age.
Diversity in young adult book has grown in the importance of not only publishing books for teens, but getting them in the hands of readers. Alvina Ling, an executive editor and founder of CBC Diversity Committee, said, "It is important for young readers to have access to books with diverse characters because it helps foster acceptance and understanding of different people." Writers deviating from his or her own experience requires extensive research and cultural immersion to avoid stereotypes or misconceptions. The publishing industry is reluctant to take risks by marketing books with diverse characters that do not represent the majority of people in the U.S. Cheryl Klein, co-founder of the Children's Book Council Diversity Committee, said, "We want and need to keep hearing more and more voices." Cheryl believes we need to hear the voices of members of all groups in the stories young adults are reading, not just the voices of majority groups. In June of 2013, multicultural publisher Lee and Low Books put together a graphic illustrating that although 37% of the United States population are people of color, only 10% of published children's books contain multicultural content. This gap has remained steady from 1994 through 2013, a full 18 years. The year 2013, out of 3,200 children's books published, there were only 93 books about African American people. This led to a New York Times piece that asked the question, where are the people of color in children's books? In this article, Walter Dean Myers says that books transmit values. They explore our common humanity. Because of this, we need diversity in books. Myers simply stated there is work to be done.
Through our research, we learned there is a need for more diversity in teen books. Diversity is needed for relatability for different groups, more voices being heard, and so that people can be more educated on all walks of life. We hope you enjoyed our video presentation on diversity in teen books. We thank you for listening.